Resenting the people you love the most.
Ooh, okay.
5 human experiences we don't talk about. Today we're going to talk about them, Will.
Nice.
All these difficult things that we don't want to talk about, we're going to jump straight in with resenting the people you love the most. Love and resentment can coexist and often do. Let's talk about resentment. What does resentment mean to you? So let's define resentment, and then we can define love, and then we'll break them down.
Resentment in my life is the same as holding a grudge. It's somebody has wronged you previously, in your view. Doesn't even mean to be they've actually done it necessarily, but in your view they have wronged you, and you hold on to that and you harbour resentment. So that's what that means to me. Would you have a similar definition?
Yeah, resentment, feeling bitter, angry. I suppose resentment is something that builds, isn't it? You don't just have resentment straight from the outset. I don't just suddenly start resenting you because you said one thing. It's slow resentment that can be something you have or even haven't done. You know, I say all the time is unspoken expectations leads to premeditated resentments. So it could be something that I'm actually not articulating to you. It could be very much that my needs are not being met because I'm not articulating them to you. And then I slowly build resentment because you've not met my needs that you've had no aware of. But resentment, I think, is often sort of unresolved anger, unresolved feelings or emotions that have built over time.
Do you currently have any needs that I'm not meeting?
Let me get the list out. No.
No? Good.
No, I don't think so. I think you feed me, you water me, give my 2 hours of daylight every day. You know?
You talk about me?
Yeah. I'm in prison, right?
Oh, yeah, sure. I don't resent anything about you, as of yet.
As of yet, give it time. You wait till January
It's
when
bound to
we're filming 10 positives? 10
Positives
podcasts a day. A day, not a week, a day.
No, let's keep it to a week just for our insanity. I've always said you don't want to work too hard. I think it's important to have a work and play aspect to your life.
You have always gone on about work-life balance. That's always been the motto for Will Taylor.
Yeah, work until you're 40, balance until you're dead.
So what does love mean for you, Will? What is love? What do you love? Who do you love? Are you capable of love?
Well, here's an interesting point, right?
You can just say no.
No.
Okay, thank you.
Love is an unconditional caring, sometimes affection towards something or someone. I think it's where you naturally are drawn to spend your time. I think it's naturally where you are drawn to share your resources, spend money on, and even maybe try and elevate, educate, and better whatever the thing is that you love.
I like that. That's a real broad sense of it. I would say it's a deep sense of affection or connection with a person or a thing. You know, because you can love the work you do, you can love a food, you can love a person. Naturally, there are different types of love. Of course, the deepest is likely the love you'll feel towards yourself and towards others, likely family and friends. But yeah, love for me is just a deep sense of connection, intimacy, and community. You know, absolutely. So, resenting the people you love, that's where it gets mixed because the two are coexisting. So we rarely admit if we do resent someone we love because it often feels morally wrong, I suppose. I'm just going to ask a question. Is there anyone you resent that you love?
I don't think there's any one. I think there's things that I resent that I also love or enjoy doing.
Okay.
An example would be YouTube.
Yeah, go. Get into YouTube.
Like, it's great on the months that it's like loving you back and it's giving you all the views and it's giving you all the good watch time, all the good click-through rates, all the
affection. Give me all of the love.
All the money, all the opportunities, all the brand deals are coming in. Like, it's great. And then there's other months where it's like, yeah, we're just going to put you in front of random people, not even related to the topic that you're watching. So your watch time goes down, your swipe rate goes down, makes you look like an idiot in front of loads of people that don't care about you. And there's no obvious way that you can change this for us. It's like, that's annoying, but I still love it enough to keep doing it. But there's the resentment on like, why?
It's almost like with that resentment, you knock in one door because it's told you to go that way, then it tells you it's wrong. So you knock in another door, it's told you it's wrong there. You love the expectation that you're going to go through the right door eventually. It's just the resentment's there because it's like, man, like how many doors do I need to knock down? How many opportunities do I need to step up to? How much can I keep trying before I give up? But ultimately, you're not going to give up because the love is there.
Yeah, it's like going into a maze, and your goal is obviously get to the middle of the maze. But you're also told that there are 10 care packages throughout the maze that aren't necessarily on the most direct route. So what I feel like I did with one of the trends that I caught is I picked up one of these care packages, kept walking down that road and hit a dead end. So now I'm having to backpedal and find another route through the maze, and hopefully I'll find another care package before I get to the middle. And it's like,
that's a really good analogy. Yeah, that's really interesting because it shows that it's not wrong. Trying something and committing to something isn't wrong. It's just having the awareness to understand when something has run its course. I think we've said on other podcasts where you've just got to understand when's the right time to be brave enough to step away from something. It doesn't mean total abandonment. It just means a reshuffling of priorities.
That's it. And it's difficult. Very difficult.
Oh, yeah. So hard because you love and resent the process, and you've got to be brave enough to believe in yourself that you can get through these hard times and these challenges that are being put up. That's a really good one there. There's a resentment towards the work you're doing, which I feel like a lot of people might have as well. They might be in a field or a company that they love, but they might resent it because it's taking away time from their loved ones. You know, people probably love the clout, the respect, the money, the wisdom that comes with progressing through a company in the corporate world, but maybe resent the lack of time and connection they get with their family and their friends. Yeah. So the two can coexist. The unspoken resentment doesn't mean an absence of love. It usually signals that a need has not been met yet. So an unexpressed boundary or self-betrayal in many regards. So the need, I suppose, with you and YouTube is the need, obviously, to earn a living, but the need to want to progress something that you are very much exploring creatively.
Yeah. It's a difficult one. Really difficult one. Because it's the same unit of work no matter what. So if your video does really, really well or your video does really, really badly, it's taking you the same amount of time and effort to make that video. If you can get your level of output to be consistent, which I've got to. Like, I know one video is no different to the next in terms of quality. It's purely down to the topic of that video. And that's sort of an exercise in removing variables. Like, if you can just get it so you optimize one variable at a time, then you can get very good at lots of things very quickly. Because, okay, it's not going to be my delivery that's the problem anymore. It's not going to be my hook that's the problem anymore. It's not going to be my colouring on the video that's bad anymore. It's not going to be the audio that's bad. So you just knock all of these ones out. And then you do it. And then, yeah, but the resentment comes in when it's like you do all of that. You've hit all those on the head. And then there's like a change. It's like you don't know what the change is necessarily. I mean, in the case at the moment where my videos are underperforming, it's I feel directionless. There's not a clear trend I can hop on the back of. But it's very difficult to... Well, I suppose you end up resenting your audience almost. Because it's like, you all said that I was the best YouTuber ever when I was making K-pop Demon Hunters stuff, and now you're nowhere to be seen. So I was just, the best K-pop Demon Hunters YouTuber? Like, you weren't specific in your love of me. And there's a few people who are like, oh yeah, I love Will Taylor, he's the best YouTuber ever. And then we'll proceed to not watch long form videos all the way through. It's like, so what then?
The resentment there is in the unknowns in many regards, because it's not the people themselves, it's not the work you're creating, it's just in the unknowns, the changes that are coming outwardly, and it's just trying to pinpoint them. But I suppose that's what keeps you, one, on your toes, and two, loving it as well, because you've got to love the process.
I think for you to love anything, there's got to be an element of gambling.
Do you think?
Like, when you're in a relationship with a person and you want to ask them a question about something you want to do, there's a level of excitement because you don't know what their response will be.
There's an element of vulnerability.
Yeah.
But do you think that has to coexist in every relationship, though?
I think so. Like in every interpersonal relationship, whether that's friends, family, a loved one, you bring a topic up, you're giving a piece of yourself to the conversation so that you can have feedback and a two-way conversation. That's gambling, because if it's met well, or like telling a joke, it's like you're going on a limb, you're saying something that's a little bit weird, a little bit funky, like it's counter to expectation, which is why it's funny. There you go, you've always wanted to break down the humour. But what you're doing is you're making yourself potentially look like an idiot, and the risk is nobody laughs and you look like twice the idiot, or they laugh and you increase your status. But that's the risk, it's the gamble.
So nothing worth having doesn't come without risk.
Yeah.
You've got to step out on a ledge to be able to gain. I suppose it's the growth comes with change.
Yeah, every no is a yes to something else, every yes is a no to something else.
Yeah, very well put. Very eloquent of you.
Learn from the best.
Hot damn. Self 5.
Nice.
You're welcome.
That echo.
That's weird. So when I think about resenting the people you love the most, it makes me think of almost spending too much time with people. Not that that is a negative, but what that can create. So when you spend too much time with, say, a loved one, whether that's a relationship like romantic or a relationship, family or friends, you're going to start to see more of that person and the intricacies. Because in reality, every person is unique, flawed, perfect in their own unique way. And everyone's going to do something slightly different to how you would. And vice versa. So when you spend too much time with people, you might start picking up on their little intricacies that maybe you do or don't like, whether you're impartial to, or whether actually it really annoys you. And if you don't respect that there's a clear boundary that maybe has been crossed, obviously if you're just picking that person apart, maybe you're not friends with them or shouldn't be in a relationship with them. But if, say, you're in a relationship with Soph, she does something that's constantly just grating on you and you're not actively engaging in a conversation to change the thing, then that's going to lead to resentment, because again, resentment builds over time. You're still going to love Soph and cherish her with all your heart, but slowly over time that's just going to build and build and build. And I think what's scary about that is that resentment does build, but then it comes out in other ways.
Yeah, you lash out at others, you don't lash out at the person.
Well, you might lash out at the person, but in a completely disproportionate way, or in a completely irrespective or unrelated moment. You know, it might be that you've had this big gripe that you wanted to bring up with your significant other, and then they didn't do the washing up and you just lash out at them, and it's got nothing to do with anything else that's happened that day. It's just, it's built and built and built, and it's almost leaked out.
Yeah.
Or like you say, it will manifest in other relationships or in other ways of life. It might be that it actually makes you physically unwell. You know, how many people do we know that have issues in their life that they're not addressing, and it takes a physical manifestation in the body? You know, they've always got injuries, or they're always under the weather, they're always run down, tired, fatigued, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
If you don't express these things, it's going to turn into resentment. That resentment is either going to turn into lashing out in anger, or it's going to turn into internal conflict.
But I think also it can be you're unhappy with stuff about yourself, and then you can lash out to others. We said, or you briefly touched on the fact that you can love yourself, but that can cause resentment in others, but it's only because you're not dealing with the stuff yourself that you don't love about yourself, if that makes sense. Like, I know I don't do the washing up a lot, and I lash out at Soph about the fact that I can't find things in the kitchen, and it's just because nothing's been washed up. But it's not her job to wash it up, it's my job to wash it up. And I haven't done that, so I'm annoyed. So then there's somewhere for that annoyed energy to go, and she's the closest thing to me, so she gets it.
Sometimes it's sad, isn't it, how we do lash out at those we love the most, and it's completely of no fault of their own. But I suppose that's where good emotional availability and a good emotional intelligence and regulation comes into it.
And her patience.
Well, I suppose that's Soph having great emotional maturity
Yeah.
to be able to handle someone that's so completely vacant of emotion. I'm joking,
Yeah.
You're not. You're definitely not.
I definitely am.
I mean, you wouldn't be able to have this conversation if you weren't.
No, but it's one thing to talk about. It's another thing to actually live it.
Yeah, but it shows you have the emotional capacity. Well, the emotional maturity is just having the capacity to implement.
Fair.
Yeah, which will get you there. This is actually Soph's plan long term, was to start this podcast just to make you a better boyfriend.
Yeah.
It's not working so far. She's not happy.
Keep dreaming, babe. I'm useless.
No, you're not.
You know what you signed up for. I have got better than when she first met me. So I'm just a 60-year project.
You can do it.
Yeah.
So do you think you resent anyone that you love? Because obviously you mentioned there's a resentment with YouTube.
Yeah, I think this is one of the things I've worked on, is like just letting go of a lot of grudges and resentment. Like, I think it's easier to do the older you get as well. I mean, maybe it cycles back round and you start to build up grudges around more things as you don't want to do any more work on said thing. But like siblings and like the amount you fall out with siblings when you live together at the family home, and then once you move out, it's like, oh, all those things really don't matter.
Seem insignificant.
Yeah. So you get on better with them if you don't live with them, which makes sense because realistically you are individuals that didn't choose to be brought up in the same house, and you've just got to coexist. It's
also as well, you may have been raised physically by the same parents, but you would have received very different upbringings, both from the time that you would have been brought into the world, the emotional maturity of your parents, the environment in which you were brought around in, so you can be siblings but have very different upbringings. And I think that's something that people struggle to comprehend. And when they go, oh, like, you siblings are not alike at all, it's like, well, yeah, we were brought up in two completely different worlds.
Yeah.
So for me, resenting people that love you the most is, yeah, you hit the nail on the head, is family. And it's something I've worked on this last year, is there were things, unspoken expectations from myself towards the family that were never met. So there was small resentments building and building. And I didn't want that. I didn't want to have that feeling towards my family, my parents, my brother. So it's having that difficult discussion with them and going, you know what, I'm going to be vulnerable here. I'm accepting that a lot of this fault is mine. I would love to work through it so we can have a better relationship. Exactly what you said. Me and my brother were at each other's throats when we grew up. We struggled to be in the same household at times, but now we have a great relationship. So it's just being brave to start the conversation and not being afraid to be vulnerable enough to say, this is how I feel. Resenting the people you love the most. A human experience we don't talk about.
It's a really good one to start with, that one.
It is. Very good one to start with. Grieving the life you thought you'd have. That's our next one, Will. Grieving the life you thought you'd have.
Yeah.
Multi-layered. Lots of things. Do you think, well, there's no other way to really put it into a nicer term. I can go first if you want me to, but is there a life you're grieving that you thought you'd have?
You go first. Let's hear what you've got to say.
So for me on this one, there's lots of different ways that I actually interpret this one. I think it comes down to the pressure I've put on myself to always have more. This indescribable sense of more. So in many ways, grieving the life I thought I'd have with a person that I was with recently that ended. I very much could have seen a life together where we would have been very happy. Naturally, that was not the case, for better or worse. I definitely think it's been a better outcome for us both. I hope she's doing well. Wish her all the best. Always will do. But also as well, there's other lives that I definitely could be living, because I very much believe one small decision can change the entire outcome of someone's life. So I could be a very successful snowboard instructor right now. And I do grieve that sometimes, you know, like I could be living in Canada, I could be living in New Zealand, Japan, all these cool places where I could be a professional snowboard instructor full-time year-round. I could be, had professional football trials for a team when I was younger. I could be a professional footballer. You know, there's times where I'm like, oh, you know, I wish I took it more seriously. I wish I really invested into that. And again, I wish there's a life where I could have been in a really big corporate job, progressing the life there. So it's not so much grieving the life I thought I'd have, but it's understanding that life choices dramatically shape how your life turns out. One, taking ownership of that, but two, if you try and constantly chase every single avenue, you're always going to be mediocre at everything. And you've got to just choose the choice that feels best for you at that time. So although it might feel like that version of life has slipped away from me, it's also understanding that I've chosen to be where I am now and to embrace it as much as possible. But when the main one I think I grieve, if I was to really put my mind to it, would be that life that I thought that my ex and I were creating. However, I'm grateful for where I am now. Very much so.
Yeah, it's a difficult one when you plan a life with somebody, because the other thing is you're genuinely excited about all those things, and that's probably because you genuinely want to do them. And then you think, oh, well, I'm on my own now, I'll just go and do them by myself. But they've lost that magic because you're supposed to be, in your head, you'd then plan to then do those things with that other person. So yeah, it's a difficult one. I think it's slightly different with me, only because you've always been after more, an undefined more.
It's indescribable sense of more, which is ironic because I've lived a great life. It's definitely one thing I've tried to reflect more on as I've gotten older. I've had so many lived experiences. In the moment, we feel like life is passing us by rapidly, but then we look back and go, wow, I've done so much in what felt like such a short space of time.
It's true. You have.
Yeah, I'm really grateful for it. And I do want more of that. I want more experiences. But I think this indescribable sense of more will settle down when I feel like I feel settled. And I ironically think
that's
that
never
will...
going to happen.
I think it will, though. I think I'm going to find it this year. I actually legitimately think I'll find it this year.
What do you think you're going to find?
I think I'll find a version of myself that's happy to feel stable. Does that make sense? I don't think old Connor has ever felt comfortable being stable.
Fair enough. Do you think that's come with age, or do you think it's through self-exploration?
Self-exploration. I say it every podcast, but therapy has been incredible for me.
Because you still feel, and this is where the line of like travel for enjoyment or travel for running away comes into play.
Blurred lines.
Because, like, I would say, if you're truly happy with yourself, your location is irrelevant. But that doesn't mean that you can't enjoy being elsewhere. Does that make sense? Is that a personal attack?
No, not at all. I see the argument you're making. I'm happy with who I am, but I'm not happy with the environment I'm in. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so you're trying to find new groups, new experiences, different.
Not so much different. I think I alluded to this earlier today. Like, if my life was where I am now, but in a slightly warmer climate, I don't know if I would feel that sort of excited about leaving. I struggle with the UK weather, but you might also be right. You might also know me maybe on a deeper level than I understand myself, because I might be trying to avoid facing things. But there is a part of me that feels quietly optimistic that the next year I will find more certainty, ironically, in a year that I'm probably going to feel inherently uncertain. But I also, like I said, there's a big part of me, and I know this might turn out to be the biggest load of crap I'll ever say. It might. But I've always wanted to achieve things in my life. There's things I've always wanted to do, like the longboard trip where I went from Paris to Madrid for charity. Always wanted to do that. Wanted to become a snowboard instructor and work winters. I wanted to work in camp. I wanted to spend time in the States. I wanted to go to Latin America and learn to surf. I've done all of those things. The two big ones are travel Southeast Asia and go to Australia. And I'm going to do both of them next year. And I have this quiet, optimistic thought that I will feel more grounded. And this is why I don't think I'm grieving a life I thought I would have, because I still feel like I'm creating the life I want to have. Does that make sense? Yeah, I still feel like I'm progressing into a better human, and I still feel like I will meet my human that I'm meant to spend my life with out there. I still think I will create a life with that person that I will never want to leave.
I'm excited for you.
Me too. We just had to find a way to do this pod from Australia. Maybe you'll just have to move with me.
It can be done. We'll figure it out. I'll just fly out and do some podcast recording. Claim it back off the Connor Bank.
Yeah. I'll pay for you to come out. First class, Singapore.
Damn. Business. Why only first? Why not business?
First is better than business.
Is it?
Yes.
Why?
Because that's how it goes. It goes economy, premium economy, business first.
Does it?
Yep. I work in travel. I think I'd know this.
Yeah. Maybe this is why you have to leave. Wrong. No, that's interesting. I hope you do find everything you're looking for.
Me too. I just hope that it doesn't come at the expense of this.
It won't, because I won't let it.
Good, because I've always said this from day one, and it's ironic. I listen back to all of our podcasts, and I actually said it when we were talking about regret. I've never regretted. I never regret a business decision that I've made or a professional decision I've made, because I don't put much clout or weight onto professional endeavors. However, with this, I'm very invested and I can see the legs that this can have, and this would be a regret. So I don't ever want to carve a life in Australia or somewhere else in the world at the expense of this. And I will reaffirm this to you as much time as you need, but I think from what I understand about you, his actions always speak louder than words, and the fact that I'm here every single day hanging out with you, even though I can hate you,
I know,
says the most.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, the fact we've been going almost 6 months.
Crazy, dude. That makes me so happy, dude.
So exciting.
We're almost at 50 episodes. Wild.
That is crazy. That is really crazy. Who'd have thought? And it's happened quick as well. Like, it doesn't feel like 6 months.
I feel like it's flown.
Yeah.
I love it. I've loved every second of it.
Me too.
Grieving the life you thought you'd have. Talk to me about it.
Yeah, so you were after more. Mine have always been quite specific. Like, I've known since I was a kid, like my dad was able to buy his first house when he was 21.
That's because they cost a Freddo.
Exactly.
A Freddo, they were used to like 10p little sweets, chocolates, but now they're like £1. But the joke was that he could buy a house with a 10p sweet, just in case you missed it. On with the show.
Cutting that out. No. So my goal would always be, okay, well, I'm not going to let inflation get in the way. What sort of 12-year-old understands the idea of inflation? I'm not going to let inflation get in the way, and I'm going to buy a house when I'm 21 as well, or before. And that hasn't happened. So I'm grieving that life where I would have been able to get one and achieve my goal. It was the same thing with passing my driving test. My dad passed in 3 weeks.
How?
There was no theory test.
Oh, okay.
So he could just get in a car. He could drive because he'd already been driving on my grandpa's farm. So he could just drive. So he just got in the car after 3 weeks after he turned 17. Was like, yeah, I know how to do this. So I was like, oh, I'm going to pass my test in 3 weeks as well. And I didn't. It took like 6 months. But I still passed it quicker than my brothers. So that's good. I'm the only one that passed when they were 17.
Did you pass first time?
Yeah.
Of course.
And on the theory. I got the minimum pass mark on the theory, and I got, out of the 15 minors you can get on your driving test, I got 12.
I think I got 11.
Nice. So you're safer than I am in theory.
Technically, people that fail their test first time and pass second time are safer drivers.
Why?
Because they actually had to learn to be better.
Yeah, but we were already above their minimum.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
And then had more time to practice because we've been driving.
True.
That's an argument for people who suck at driving. So yeah, I'm grieving that life on sort of what could have been in terms of that. But as you say, making progress towards a goal is the most enlightening and powerful and positive thing that sort of overshadows any sort of grievance towards another life you could have had. It's like, I'm very happy with what I'm working towards, and as long as I've got that North Star, then I'm happy.
How can you mourn something if you're still working towards something else? And ultimately, you can change what that North Star might be. It might adapt here and there, but if you've still got a reason to wake up every morning, that's awesome.
Yeah, literally. And now I'm in a blessed position to where I can do... Like, I remember I was making YouTube videos while I was working at S3 Studios, which is the old studio that we used to work at.
Big up.
And I was like, oh, how great would it be if I didn't have to go to S3 Studios? Like, I could just continue, because I was doing 2 long form a day, and this is before I had to worry about copyright strikes and monetization. Like, this is just great. I could do this 7 days a week. This is brilliant. Like, how am I ever going to get to a position where this pays me? And as soon as I got monetized, I stopped.
I was going to say, do you think you grieve the life you could have had if you kept going with YouTube?
Maybe, but I also feel I needed to experience corporate life just to absolutely consolidate in my head that it wasn't what I needed to do.
Sometimes you need to know that you're making the wrong decision to reaffirm that it is indeed the wrong decision, to help further align with your right decision.
Yeah, I can now, without any regrets, know that I'm either going to be self-employed or dead. I don't need that in my life.
It must be somewhat freeing.
It is. It's stressful because I don't have a backup. I don't have, like... The logical answer would be, if self-employed stops working, you just go and get another job to keep you up on the months that you're down, and then you can leave and then continue working on self-employed stuff. That's not an option. My next line of defense is death. So I've got to make it work.
You've got to go out in a blades of glory.
Yeah, go down swinging, as they say. But that, that's fine. And I say that all in relative jest, because killing yourself is funny. But I want to...
What?
Nothing. I want to just make it work, and I like the struggle. It makes the story more interesting. I said on the previous podcast, I feel more comfortable when I make less than I do more, because the actual workload hasn't changed. It's the same workload, but it's way less stressful when you're making less money. I feel like I'm not because opportunities aren't coming at me now. I don't feel like I can make wrong decisions. Whereas when nothing's happened, or when everything's happening, you've got a brand that wants to talk to you, and you feel like you've got to prioritize. Okay, well, I've now got to make outreach to brands and responding to brands and crafting those conversations a priority, because otherwise I'm going to fluff them. And then I've also got to prioritize long form, because that's a whole other avenue. I've got to prioritize shorts because that's the main revenue. I need to prioritize my own merchandise and how I'm building a brand off that, and then maybe even consulting calls and how I can help the brands over here, and then going to marketing conferences and trying to help other companies. There's so many opportunities that
scope gets wider, whereas when you're not performing, the scope gets narrower, because it is only one job, which is perform.
Yeah. It's so much easier. It's like, it's
less is more, I suppose.
It's quite nice to have a flavour of success, to know that it's not the be all and end all. And it wasn't even that much money in the grand scheme of things that I made.
No, but it gives you a goal to reach back towards, and if you could stay consistent at that amount per month, it would be...
Well, yeah, it would be fine.
Life-changing for a lot of people.
But it's not life-changing. I am a lot of people. It's like, I rent a 2-bed flat, like, in a town that's not luxurious, not scummy, but not luxurious.
I don't know, we're in an expensive town to live in.
Are we?
Yep.
Not this end of town.
Down south, we are, significantly more expensive than up north.
Up north.
And we're in a pretty sought-after location. I also think we somehow get tarnished with the brush of a commuter town as well.
Yeah, we are.
Which we're not.
Yeah, we are.
Hour and a half is not a commuter town.
No, it's got a direct train into London.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but anything lower than Haywards Heath is not a commuter town.
Yeah, it is. I commuted to London from here.
Yeah, I've done it for 2 years, mate.
Exactly. How are we not a commuter town? Commuters live here.
No, it was gross. Hated it.
Yeah, it doesn't mean you didn't do it.
Nope. I mean, I'm sure there's other commuter towns where you could fly in.
It's true. that's the thing. I think you've either got to be immensely successful, like 100k a month plus, or any like 30 to 50 grand a year.
I disagree. Reason being, I think everyone has a different definition of what it means for them to be successful and wealthy. Not rich, wealthy. Because rich is the significant amount of money. So what monetary amount do you have? Like actual figures. Whereas wealth, someone that earns 20k a year could be wealthy because they just prioritize their money correctly. They live a really nice life and they have surrounded by love. So I would disagree because I think wealth is very much different for different people.
Yeah, I think that's wrong because
wrong. Nice, cute, but wrong.
30 to 50 grand a year is like what you need really to live. It's like you can pay your rent or your mortgage. You can get a mortgage.
I was on 36 and I wouldn't be able to get a mortgage down here. Not for anything worth having.
No, well, you could get 4 times, which would be 120. So if you could put down 100, and that's 220 grand flat. So you could do it.
Yeah, but it's not what it should be for that sort of money, considering that's above the median average.
Well, it's exactly what it should be because market determines the price. If you buy somewhere that's 220, you hold on to it for 5 years, it'd be worth 310.
Yep.
So you make an extra 50 grand on top of your 50, and then suddenly you made 100 grand. Whoa! Just one of the reasons why I love property as a vehicle. But 100 grand a month, is 1.2 million a year. After tax, you're walking around with if you run it through a limited company, about 800, maybe a bit more, maybe 900. And you can actively improve the quality of your life. But if you're at 100 grand a year compared to 50 grand a year, nothing changes. You might have a few more takeouts. You might be able to go on a holiday. If you have from 100 grand a year to 300 grand a year, nothing changes. You still go out to eat and you can still go on a holiday. And do you notice the difference between a 10 grand holiday and a 20 grand holiday? I don't think you do. Like, you don't notice the difference between a £1,000 holiday and a £2,000 holiday. But the big jump from, what's 50 grand in a year per month? It's got to be like 2 and a bit grand. No, more. 4 grand before tax. 4.5 before tax. That to 100 grand a month before tax is that's a big difference.
I see the point you're making.
You can get a lovely car at that point. You can get a really nice house. You can fly to holiday. You can fly the other side of the country because it's more time efficient and it's more pleasurable than having to drive or having to get public transport. It's there's a big difference there.
I can see the point you're making. I can. Again, I would rebuttal with my arguments, but then we go around in circles. But I do understand the point you're making, absolutely. So, when it comes to grieving the life you thought you'd have, it's not something that massively plays a factor in your life at the moment because you're still working towards the life you want to cultivate. Just maybe there are tinges of regret, but they were decisions best made with the information available at the time, which is the same for me. The needing to understand corporate life wasn't for you.
Yeah, that was a big thing because that was my strategy. My strategy was accountancy, get the salary, get the mortgage, buy the first home, renovate it, remortgage that after a year of living there, get a tenant to move in, put that into the next house after remortgaging it, buy that one, buy to let mortgage, and then you're fine. You're off. Get 3 of those, wait a few years, then buy a 4th one, wait a few years, buy a 5th one, sell all of them, buy a 16-unit building, make 100 grand a month.
Easy peasy.
I still will probably do that.
Yeah, I have no doubt.
The vehicle to get there is YouTube now rather than a salary, which means cash purchases.
Makes the barrier to entry slightly harder, but I have no doubt that you will get there. The next one we have is similar, but slightly different. Feeling relieved when something ends that you were supposed to want. I think this is something we've both experienced.
My last relationship.
Last relationship for you, yeah, absolutely. I also think for you as well, the corporate life that you stepped away from. You were supposed to want that. You're supposed to want to be the the accountant that was going to work up to be in the C-suite and earn X amount of money because you get paid for your big brain. But You were relieved when that was done.
Yeah, that was such a good day in retrospect. And even in the moment, I was like, I literally said to whoever it was on the phone, like, this is like the book just got interesting. Like, this is so cool. Like, I'm living, like, my life is just a film.
So the relief was off. Did you feel like it was followed by guilt after that of why am I glad this is over?
Nope, went home and made a song.
Nice. Do you think people often feel guilt maybe when something, say like you're the person that ends up ending a relationship? You might feel relief that you've walked away from something you were supposed to want, but then maybe feel a little bit guilty after, like, oh, should I be feeling glad that this is over?
I've never been on that side of it, so I don't know.
You've always been breaked up with.
Yeah. Which is more freeing.
Do you think? How so?
You didn't do anything wrong. So you just can move on guilt-free. They've said that you're not for them. So you're like, okay, cool. Now I can go and just do what I was already doing.
I suppose it depends on the reason in that regard.
Well,
if I broke up with you and you cheated, you've clearly done something.
Oh, that's because of me, but that's me already having made the decision that person, I'm not going to spend my life. If it's like they break up with you because you don't do the washing up, it's like, okay, cool, I'm still not going to do the washing up, but I'm allowed to hire a cleaner now because what I say goes.
Okay.
And then the next relationship I would get in would be like, I have a cleaner, by the way. And they were like, oh, cool. Like, it really doesn't. Like, that was a silly example.
No, but I get the point you're making. So a relationship, a job, a dream, they're all socially acceptable and socially successful, yet internally you might feel like you're suffocating. So I suppose a big one is a job. We've both been in roles where society rewards you because it sounds great. My last role, although it wasn't super high up in the company, I was well respected. I was relieved when I handed in my notice because it meant that all these business decisions I didn't really have to care about anymore.
And you're taking back your freedom.
Taking back ownership, I suppose, which is ultimately where the relief is coming from. You're taking back that autonomy, that power.
Yeah. I think that is what it truly means to be an adult. It's like, if you could be self-employed and you can like the idea of a breadwinner, like you're the person who brings in the bread, not, please boss, can I have some more money this year because I've worked really hard. It's like, that's not you bossing it, is it? Let's be honest. That's not you being the big person who brings in all. You're literally waiting on somebody else's generosity to increase your pay. Like, that is just a stupid way to live life.
With the role we were in sales, obviously we got our commission when we hit 100% of our target, and then you get a little bit more when you get to 110, and then a little bit more when 120%, and so on and so forth. And there was a big consensus against like the team, which was, if you're not going to hit like 140, 150, just keep yourself at 100 because the payouts are not worth it. Just keep it all back and then confirm in the next month. And the company didn't like that because it's like, well, you've got sales, confirm in this month. We're like, pay us more, like if we all stopped working, it'd be a big issue.
Yeah.
But it's interesting, isn't it? How
it's also, that's a stupid commission structure.
It was a good commission structure.
Why wouldn't they just pay you a percentage per sale?
Yeah, that's what I expected it might have been, and I actually don't know why it was this one, but I think it inspires people to work to the 100%, but then unfortunately it can stop the inspiration once it gets to 100%.
You should, or get to 100% if they want to hit a certain benchmark at a certain percentage rate, and then everything after that you get paid per sale. That would be so better, because then you'd be motivated. And also, if you increased what that commission was per sale after the 100%, there's like, you'd make so many more sales. Your top salespeople would just go through the roof.
Yeah.
Like, but that's just, you can learn that stuff as a company by speaking to the salespeople. Like, they know what they want to get paid.
Well, the ironic thing is this was a big gripe that we had in the sales team, which was, there's a team in charge of the website. So making any small minor adjustments in the website. They did not consult us on any of these changes. It happened, I'd say, a good 10 times in the 2 years I was there. They did not once consult with the people that regularly use the website and direct clients how to use a website, what changes they are going to make. We'll just start work the next day and it'll suddenly all be different. We're like, what?
There should be an email sent out about that.
FYI.
Yeah. Just so you know, I've changed the main user interface.
I'm sure there was a meeting that was happened and lots of important conversations by lots of important people.
But that doesn't mean anything.
No.
This is what Elon Musk hates about big companies. And this is why he structures his differently, is like the whole idea of a C-suite is a waste of time. And like even most managers, what do you really do day to day? Like you have these big boardroom meetings. What do you actually achieve?
Yeah, I agree.
You've just spoken about the thing. What's actually changed?
Yeah, I agree. But then again, maybe I'm just playing hypothetical for myself. Maybe because I've never been in those sort of environments, I don't know, so I can't truly speak to it. But being the
You are
grunt work on the
currently
ground,
co-CEO of Beneath the Noise.
yeah,
Let's talk about all the things we're going to do and hope that changes happen.
no, we just need to do it.
Oh, right. Okay, there you go. You're in that position. You're literally you're the biggest boss right now.
Am I?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, 50%.
Yeah, 50% biggest boss.
Yeah.
So, feeling relieved when something ends that you were supposed to want, the experience exposes how often people pursue identities instead of alignment, which is really interesting because we do pursue identities. We want people to perceive us as XYZ, or we want the outward description of Connor or Will to be perceived by everyone in a certain way, that rather than chasing the alignment of ourselves and who we are and who we actually want to be and what goals we actually want to achieve, we do just chase the identity that comes with the promotion or the relationship or what's socially acceptable or successful.
It's that North Star again. It's like, it's not just in terms of financial goals. It's like, what type of person do I want to be spoken about as? And that's your goal. It's like, well, when people say, I'm going to talk about Will. Will is the deputy manager of XYZ company. Or Will is the manager of the deputies. I'm down here. It's like, that's not as good as manager. And then it's like senior manager. Oh, yeah. And it's like the big boss. Yes. That's why Elon Musk's job title is at SpaceX is like the supreme awesomeness leader of the Rebel Alliance or something. It's crazy.
Sounds like he's overcompensating for something.
No, but it's to make a joke of the fact that CEO means nothing. It's like chief enforcement, chief engagement officer or something.
Chief
Executive, that's it, yeah. But what does that mean? It's like, it's meaningless, really. Yeah, I'd say maybe we should not call ourselves CEOs. We should call ourselves what's the one of the there's a thing on Top Gear. I can't remember what they were called. It was like a general from another country, and it's, please refer to me as the supreme and magnificent leader.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Of military advantages or something. It was like, yes.
We should just be podcaster 1 and podcaster 2.
Yeah.
Or podcaster 1 and podcaster A.
Ooh.
So then no one feels like they're second.
Well, I am second.
Are you?
I'm just an editor.
So you're podcaster 3 then?
Yeah.
I'll be podcaster Z.
Nice.
So it's just...
Yeah. 3Z.
Yeah,
3Z.
Did you ever feel relieved when something ends that you were supposed to want? These are the ones we mentioned at the beginning. You mentioned your last relationship, and you also mentioned what I mentioned for you, your career, when it exploded quite magnificently.
It was awesome. It's more dramatic, and I'm excited I've sort of made it into the media industry, because the likelihood of me having autonomy over a film that could be made about my life is possible. I like the idea of going down the producer route. 50 Cent made the documentary on Diddy.
But he only did that because he hates Diddy.
Yeah, no, but he's done a few other documentaries as well. He's done a few things.
Oh, has he?
Yeah. And I like a lot of the films that he's co-starred in. He's actually been producing behind the scenes as well, which is quite cool. I still love as well the fact that he declared personal bankruptcy and then posted loads of pictures of him having a coffee table that was made out of stacks of $100 bills. Brilliant, because people don't understand the difference between limited company and personal stuff. Just funny side note. There's I don't know if there's anything else, to be honest. I think that's probably me on that one.
Outgrowing people without a villain in the story. So often when we do move on with or move past people in our life, there is a villain or someone's done something wrong, someone's wronged you. It's this grand gesture of, oh, I've left them in the past, I've moved on. And sometimes there isn't. There is no villain in the story. It's just life has moved on.
You just elevate, and the people, like, it's typical for people to not elevate.
Yeah, there's no betrayal, no explosion, just sort of diversion, deviation from that person.
Yeah.
There's one that I think I've gone through recently. I think you've probably gone through the same thing. Is this person refuses to grow and accept that life moves forwards, and they still live in the same patterns, have the same monologue, and live the same life as they did when we were 20. You know, we're 30 now, and...
You guys are so old.
Hella old, man. Hella old. And for me, I can't have that around me. I can't be surrounded by people that refuse to stagnate. Or sorry, opposite.
Yeah, refuse
that
to
accept
progress.
to stagnate and refuse to progress. Yeah, because life is inherently moving forwards. Life is always going to be moving forwards consistently. And as a person, you should always want to keep up, want to grow, become someone new and different, exciting. Again, we've said it before, is when people say, oh, you've changed. It's like, well, yeah, that's...
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Like, that's what life is. It changes and shapes you.
Get.
This is it. So for me, yeah, I definitely experienced this one. It felt really hard at the time because I felt like I was almost shaving off a part of my life, and it was a hard experience to accept because there was no one really to blame, but just the self-realization that this doesn't serve me anymore.
Yeah, it's your habits have got you to a position where you've been granted perspective on a certain situation. It's like, that's nobody's fault other than like maybe your own, but what you're going to do not better your life. It's like, if I'm given the choice, I'm always choosing to better my life and make better decisions. Like, why wouldn't I? Yeah. And it's difficult, actually. That felt like I felt some fear when I said that. It's like, if I was presented with choice A and choice B, and one of them is an obvious better decision, but I wasn't as wanting to do the one that was better for me, it's like, where would that leave me? It's like, that's really difficult. Like, what's the goal? The goal surely has got to be to do what's better. Interesting.
It's difficult though, isn't it? Because you've got to weigh up both sides of the story. You've got to take in all the information, but yeah, life is going to move forward. You've got to choose what's better, and you've got to choose the growth side.
Yeah.
Difficult decisions, unfortunately, do require hard reflections inwards. Forces you to realise that not all endings are caused by harm, and not all endings have to be this grand explosion or gesture of character, but just a quiet acknowledging that life is, yeah, maybe moving forwards without them.
People fizzle out. That's it.
They do. And yeah, like you've said before, you're going on your path and someone might just keep going off on theirs, or ultimately not even move. They might just stay where they are. And do you really want to concern yourself with that person?
Nope.
Have you ever outgrown someone without there being a villain in the story?
Yep.
Care to share?
School friendship groups. After school friendship groups. Ex-work colleagues. Like even... I don't know if there would be a quote-unquote villain in the story, but like leaving accountancy is like, I don't see any of those people as villains. It's like, it was just the end of that, and it was just they made a call, and it was the same call I was hoping they'd make anyway, so it wasn't like a... I think it's, yeah, but that taught me one thing. Like, I remember my dad telling me through accountancy, like, because I was talking about leaving maybe 3 months before I did, to the point where I was already looking for other accountancy jobs, but just to see if it was any different working elsewhere. And it was like, oh, well, 3 months when your probation's over, they might make the decision for you anyway. It's like, waiting for them to make the decision was not a feeling I liked. I prefer to actually make the decision. So 2 days into my new job as an accountant, I made the decision. So I'm sorry, I'm just not working here.
You wanted the autonomy. When you're waiting for someone to make a decision for you, you are powerless, or you've given your power to someone else.
Yeah, it's like, what? I'm just going to let life happen to me. No, I happen to life. Like, hate waiting for other people to give me the green light to do stuff. I'm just going to make it happen. It's like, and other people are going to be, whoa, like, you can't do that. That's not how things... No, I can do what I like.
I'm moving in a way that feels natural for me, and if you don't like it, just communicate that with me.
And I think the way that you do that as well, you have to have a lot of self-confidence to do it. Because it means you've got to own and take accountability for everything. If something goes well, feel free, take accountability for it. If something goes badly, take accountability for it. It shouldn't impact you. It shouldn't be a reflection of you. It should be, I made a decision and I was wrong. But that's fine because I've made decisions and I've been right. It's exactly the same emotional trigger.
Your ego shouldn't be that much attached to the bad decision anyway, or the good decisions. Yeah, I've made a decision that I thought was right at the time. If it turns out to be right, awesome, I was correct, and I can adjust accordingly. If my decision was wrong, okay, I was wrong. Let me learn from that lesson and adjust accordingly.
Yeah.
You know, your ego shouldn't be attached to these things. If you're wrong, take ownership of it and learn from it.
Yeah. Doesn't mean you can't be bummed when your business is tanking, but it also doesn't mean that you should have a big life crisis because of it.
Big existential crisis because you got something wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of people, like, something goes wrong at work, never hear the end of it. But other people, it's like, yeah, it's just a job.
Some people like to moan. Some people like to lean towards the negative. Some people, especially in this country, in the UK, are very overtly negative and just always find an issue with something. Rather than looking at what's gone well in that day, what are they grateful for, they'd rather focus on the one thing that's easier to moan about.
It's so funny when people moan. Anyone who moans in the UK in 2025, 2026, like, you have nothing to moan about. Literally nothing. Like, 100 years ago, you would have died of disease. If COVID had happened in the 1920s, we'd all be dead.
Black Plague.
Literally. Like, stop moaning. Your life is so... The fact that you were expecting to live past 50, 100 years ago, that wasn't really a thing. Like, what are you moaning about?
You've got all the tools at your disposal to better your life, to live a healthy life, to live a full life. Yeah.
People wind me up.
People are complicated. And we're saying it as if we're removed from people, but people like ourselves are complicated.
Well, there's the enlightened group and there's the unenlightened group. It's like, if we've been blessed with the perspective to know how lucky we are, other people put into situations, brought up in situations where the status quo is to moan and be ungrateful for everything, and they don't even think of it as a thing. It's like they've never been shown what it's like to be grateful for something.
I think everyone needs to practice gratitude. The gratitude journal every night. You write 3 things you're grateful for. At the beginning, it's easy. I'm grateful that the sun rised. I'm grateful that I had a nice breakfast. And then eventually, over time, you start losing those insignificant ones. You start actually understanding the depth of gratitude. And if you can practice a grateful life every single day, your life will get significantly better.
Yeah, and you don't even need to write them down. I know some people do, but it doesn't benefit me to write them down. Not that I've tried, but I just know what I'm grateful for. You know, I'm grateful for the fact I get to wake up and YouTube is the thing that that's on my priority list. That's like number one. Like, the fact that that's the thing. It's not like I'm terrified that I'm not going to be able to eat today. Like, that's already an advantage.
It is cool that is the life you've cultivated.
Yeah. Like, what the hell? How's that a thing?
Very envious of that.
It's so cool. No, but January, that's your life.
Yeah, for a month.
It's your number one priority for a month.
It is.
And if you don't prioritise it, you won't be able to go on holiday for as long. So
yeah, this is it. I will be prioritising.
Get in line.
Well, we're doing 20 podcasts a week now.
Yeah.
No, 10's are going to be a good number.
I think 10 is a good number. I think down the road, it'll be interesting, especially as we start to incorporate guests, because obviously so much of it is reliant on their schedules, not ours. Especially the bigger and better guests we get.
Yes, but I do think guests will be a once a week thing. I don't think it would be the every episode.
Yeah, no, I agree. So we could even do batch recordings of the once a week.
Yeah, this is it.
Then just fly around the world to do Chris Williamson, Alex Hormozy, Dave Ramsey, do Sidemen, we'll do The King. Nobody's done The King. We could be the first. And it will be a king, even if it's not Charles. It'll be William.
Could be. I don't know anything about the monarchy.
You have to ask them.
Tell me.
So, how did you
everything.
get this job?
Yeah. How does one apply to be a king? What references do you have?
No, it's really cool. I think the Queen was a very, very good monarch. Because, like, the supreme leader of our country decided not to behead people. Like, I couldn't be trusted with that. Not when I was... How young was she when she became... She was young.
I honestly know nothing about it.
She was like 20-something when she became Queen of England.
Wow.
Like, you're telling me you're given all the power in the world and somebody cuts you up in traffic, you're not beheading them. Like, come on. Of course you are.
I also thought when you said supreme leader, you were talking about Kim Jong-un, but there we go.
No, in this country.
Okay.
And I would contest that he is just a leader.
Not the supreme
I wouldn't
leader.
say he's a supreme leader.
I don't know.
I've never seen him wear supreme.
I'm not mad that you made the joke. I'm mad that you made the joke before me.
Nice.
Yeah.
It was sort of an off-white.
It was, yeah. You had to reach for it.
Yeah. Really difficult to make a joke about Balenciaga. Doesn't quite fit in.
Was that a joke or?
It was just a statement.
Oh, okay. I do not wear these brands.
And Prada as well. I was thinking, like, could you do proud of? But it doesn't quite work the same way.
I would never wear these brands, I don't think. They're just not me. You know, give me a Billabong, a Quicksilver, a Catin.
Yeah, so
Love
this
a
is what I
Catin.
don't understand. Like, unless you can buy, like, 20 grand t-shirts, you shouldn't be able to prioritise clothes.
Really? So you don't think like a £25 t-shirt?
No, it should be bare... Because what's the difference between a £25 t-shirt and a £2 t-shirt?
Because it's self-expression.
What are you wanting to get across?
That I value the clothes I wear and pick brands that align with who I want to be and the outward display I want to provide.
You're like the clothing company's dream customer.
I am, yeah. I love shopping. I told you if I...
You are who they wrote down on their target market.
Yeah. I'm not mad at it, you know? Like I've told you before, if I was to win the lottery like that absurd amount of money, one of the first things I would do would be spend money on clothes, dude.
Do you know what I
love
would
it.
buy? I'd buy a monthly package of fresh socks. So I never had to wash socks or wear secondhand socks. It was always fresh socks.
That's the biggest waste of money I've
Best
ever had.
thing ever. No, it'd be good. And like I'd probably have a monthly order of Air Forces. So I always had to clean Air Forces so I didn't have to worry about it. But I actually quite like worn-in shoes because they're more comfortable.
Yeah.
So maybe not. I don't know. But you know what I really want? I want like moon boots. I have actually ordered some.
No, you haven't.
I have. I had them when I was 17, 18. And yeah, I've got. They look like Marty McFly shoes out of Back to the Future. They're so cool. They're no way staying white, but they're so sick. I can't wait to show you. I'm very excited. I haven't even told Soph.
That was you being like, I would never buy clothes. They're a waste of money, and you've bought moon boots.
Yeah, because these have got holes in. My barefoot shoes aren't practical for a lot of scenarios.
Yeah.
So, moon boots.
Moon boots it is, my friend.
You can do anything in moon boots. Swim. You can run.
Anything else?
Skateboard.
Can you walk in them?
No. No, they're made exclusively for hoverboard use. Oh, I'm going to get a hoverboard. Shh, don't tell Soph. It's alright, she never watches these. Hi, Soph.
Does she?
Yeah, every single one.
Wow.
Just to make sure I haven't said anything bad about her.
We say nothing but good things about Soph.
I know, but I say things and then she's like, what did you mean when you... Oh, so you don't love me, do you? Okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
Let me just refer back to episode 43 where you said...
You would leave me because you could hire a cleaner and then get in a relationship with somebody else you wanted to clean. That will happen.
Yeah,
I'm
that will come
convinced of
back.
it,
Yeah, well done. You show yourself on the foot. But what you can do is be like, skip to the end and hear where we converse about it in a laughy, jovial manner.
Yeah.
And you can
And
realise...
like, oh, you're laughing about the fact that I can't.
We are.
It's take that.
Good band. All the mums love a bit of Take That.
I know. There's your issue.
Have a Little Patience. Shine, I don't know. This is the only 2 songs I know.
No, I don't know any either.
We love a bit of Robbie.
They're terrible.
You've just alienated the 50-year-old women on our channel.
I'll live with it.
Will you?
They're not our target market. Our target market is 20 to 35-year-old men.
God, that's a pretty small niche.
Most of India.
That was a really weird statistic. I wasn't ready for it, but I like it.
The average age in India is like 30.
Is it?
Ours is older. Ours is like 40, 50.
Well,
was I right?
I don't know. I wasn't Googling that. I was writing down my word. It came to me.
Oh.
Yeah. So we've just spoke about some human experiences we don't talk about. The irony. We've spoken about things we shouldn't speak about. Resenting people you love the most. Grieving the life you thought you'd have. Feeling relieved when something ends that you were supposed to want. Outgrowing people without a villain story. Is there one that really stuck out to you?
The grieving the life you don't have. Or you should have had.
How come?
It's just a thing that I've gone through prior to this podcast.
I like it. Yeah.
It's I had some thoughts.
You did have some thoughts. For me, it was resenting the people you love most. Because I think there's a nice duality in there. It was insightful. It was deep. It was beneath the noise. And we really got in there.
Nice.
Click on the QR code. For Hugh.
Where does it go?
I just had to drop it in. Because we spoke about it.
Yeah, it'd be some knockoff version of Flappy Birds or something of it.
Be the Rickrolled thing.
The what?
Rickrolled. Never gonna give you up.
Never
get. No?
I know the song, but
wow. I suppose you're young, aren't you? You don't know what Rickrolled is.
You're not from the 80s.
But when the internet was starting out, there was a thing called being Rickrolled, which is where you'd send someone a link, being a look at this funny video, and it'd be something completely like clickbait,
right?
And it'd be the Rickrolled song. So that was called being Rickrolled.
Uptown girl.
No. Right. Well, I've written down my word. I am not confident.
I don't even have any idea.
Well, you just meant to guess, just any word.
Washing.
No.
What was it?
Curry.
Oh, okay. I maybe could have got that.
You maybe could have. But you
I had a curry as my entree to my second.
Entree. Oh, my legs are sore.